So yeah, it's fight day tomorrow. Juggernaut versus Big Bang Zhang. Um, Definitely looking forward to it. It should be a classic. Should be a good one. We also got Tank Davis versus Garcia coming up a couple of weeks time. So I mean, those are two fights that I'm definitely looking forward to. Two fights that is pretty much around the corner. Now I've got to say that Joyce needs the knockout. He needs the knockout in this fight. Um, as you all know, Joyce or any heavyweight or boxer in that matter, they're only as good as their last fight. They can be a great fighter, but with one wrong performance, all of a sudden, people start to understand that maybe this guy isn't who I think he is. A lot of criticism goes towards boxers, based on their performance against other fighters. What's going on, Bud Fowles? Thanks for stopping in. So, I mean, you're only as good as your last performance. You look at Joyce, last couple of fights has been great. You got the knockout win over Joseph Parker. And Zhilei Zhang, he came close to beating Herkovic. A lot of people thought that he won the fight, including myself. I thought that he won that fight clearly, or was close, but I gave the edge to Zhang. And, now he's in a situation where he can possibly get another shot. Excuse me. So you're only as good as your last performance, so there's a lot of speculation of this, this 3-fight deal, 3-fight tournament in December between, Wilder, AJ, Fury, Usyk, winner challenges winner. Joyce isn't in the equation. Joyce isn't being talked about like that. So he really needs to, have a good win here. He needs to win in dramatic fashion. He needs the knockout. Okay, he needs the knockout so that he can call out these other names. So he can call out these other names, and it needs to be a good performance. It needs to be a good performance for sure. So that's that fight. Okay, very important fight for Joyce. He's challenging a guy that punches hard, Zhang. Okay, a guy that really did trouble Filip Herkovic. A guy that dropped him. Okay, a guy that dropped him with the right hand. Understand that, Zhang's a left-handed fighter. He's a southpaw. So you can expect Zhang to definitely put up a fight here, without a doubt. You can expect that. So Joyce needs to be able to sustain, his motor. He needs to be able to sustain his pace and knock out Zhang, which isn't going to be easy. And everyone knows Joyce, when he does fight, he does take a lot of punches. Although, at times it doesn't seem to faze him. This time it may, faze him against Zhang. So this is an important fight for sure. This is an important fight for Joyce as well. Like I say, this tournament that people are talking about in Saudi Arabia, Joyce isn't in the equation. He's not in it. Okay, so We also got Tyson Fury, saying that, hey, I'll give Joyce a title shot if the Usyk fight doesn't happen. Now all of a sudden, what's going on, Ty Rob? I'm just talking boxing. Man. Joyce versus Zhilei Zhang, which is on tomorrow. So I'm just talking that, man. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm apologizing for lags. So this is an important fight, a very important fight for Joyce. He's not in this equation of this 3-fight tournament that's rumored in December. You got Tyson Fury that said, listen, I will fight Joyce if the Usyk fight doesn't happen. And the fight never happened. You know what I mean? I'm all good, gamer bro. Hope all is good, my friend. I'll turn you blue after the stream. I'm trying to make everyone blue. Check each other out and things like that. Check out the channels. But yeah, I mean, you think Fury will come out of retirement? Fury isn't retired, Rob. He's in Italy at the moment. So basically, Tyson Fury, he's on holiday, I believe. To my understanding, he wanted more money against Usyk. He wanted more money. He wanted a bigger bag. And, they never offered him that. Saudi Arabia, they tried to make the fight there. He wasn't happy with it. So now they're trying to target it for December. They want to make a 3-fight deal, which is rumored. Okay, this is all speculation. So Usyk versus Fury, and Wilder versus AJ. So that's why I'm saying that for Joyce, it's very important for him to win by knockout, so he can call out Fury. Fury said, listen, if the Usyk fight doesn't happen, I'll fight Joyce. Now we hear him talking about trying to fight Andy Ruiz. So it's a complete turnaround. I mean, it's fight day tomorrow. All of a sudden, he's trying to, maneuver around Joyce, my understanding. What's going on, Mr. Whistle? Thanks for stopping in. He's trying to maneuver around Joyce. That's just what I believe. I think that Tyson Fury doesn't want to fight Joyce. Joyce is getting avoided. Because let's face it, Joyce can really trouble any heavyweight out there. So I mean, he's challenging a guy, Zhilei Zhang, who punches really hard. He punches really hard. And everybody knows Zhang everyone knows Joyce as a guy that can take a punch, but can you take a punch from Zhang? Smash the like button on your way out, chat, no doubt, no doubt, hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. What's going on, Canadian family? Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, at the start, I'll make everyone blue, once I get the chance. But I'm just talking boxing anyway. So it's important for Joyce, okay? I'll take Fury in that fight. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Tyson Fury, is a very talented fighter. Possibly the best in the heavyweight division. But that's possibly, okay? He still needs to fight other guys. He still needs to fight, like I say, Joyce, a guy that comes at you, constantly. Second half of the fight, applies the pressure. He's challenging guys that aren't on the top at the moment. Just wanted to show some support. I appreciate it. I really do. I thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate your time. And like I say, check out everyone's channel and things like that. But he's challenging he's challenging guys that aren't. So he challenged Dillian White, for instance, then he challenged Derek Chisora, when he had the perfect opportunity to challenge someone else. You know what I mean, Rob? You know what I'm saying? And people want to see him challenge these top guys. By far, I think that Fury is the most talented heavyweight in the division. But I still want to see him fighting these other guys. I want to see him challenging Joyce, especially. He's undefeated. You got Joyce or Zhang. I think that Joyce Um, Joyce is just, he's a guy that never looks hurt. He's taken so many punches, and it seems like halfway through the fight, he picks up the pace, where Zhang, halfway through the fight, he loses the pace. We saw him very effective against Herkovic in the first half of the fight. Then all of a sudden he starts to fade. He starts to lose his stamina, his pace. Joyce seems to pick up his pace halfway through the fight. So for for Zhang, he really needs to hurt Joyce early. I want to see him fight some other heavyweights. Is that Joyce or Zhang? Zhang, I think he's almost at 40, or he could be in his 40s. A lot of people avoided him, because of the reason of him having a hard punch, being a southpaw. A lot of people avoided him. They only seem to fight them when they get older. We've seen that a lot these days. Now we got a new breed of heavyweights. Now we got the Usyks, the Furies. We got all the Olympians. We got Joyce, Philip Herkovic. People like that are on the top now. So they now need to fight each other. All the older heavyweights are gone. Povetkin and people like that, they're gone. My apologies. I'm sorry for that. But yeah, so they got to fight each other. They got to fight each other for sure. But Joyce says he's got to fight the top heavyweights. But the thing is that no one's putting their hand up to fight him. That's what I'm saying. He needs to look good in this fight. He needs a knockout. Okay, you look at a guy like Deontay Wilder. He got the first one knockout. Now all of a sudden he's number one in WBA. He's number one in WBC. Just based on his performance. Based on his performance, you know what I mean? So it's very important to really get a knockout here for Joyce. He needs to knock out Zhang. I favor Joyce in the fight. I think that Joyce is gonna be too much for Zhang. But Zhang needs to hurt him early. If he can't hurt him early, then Joyce is gonna dominate him. Second half of the fight, he's gonna knock him out for sure, without a doubt. Without a doubt. But yeah, there's a lot of rumors, like I say, about this tournament. 3-fight deal, Usyk versus Fury, AJ versus Wilder, winner challenges winner in Saudi Arabia, $1 billion deal, something like that, $100 million each. There's a lot of speculation of that, but Joyce isn't in the equation. Now we got Daniel Dubois, who's gonna fight. He's gonna Usyk, and Joyce Dubois. You know what I mean? So it must be very frustrating for him. So it's very important for Joyce to look really good in this fight, and just call out the heavyweights. Call out Tyson Fury, say, listen, it's time for you to give him my shot like you said. He's got to really knock him out early if he can, just dominate him and make a big statement. Like I say, you're only as good as your last fight, and it's very important for Joyce to get this win. And I mean, like I say, Zhang is not a walkover. He can really punch hard. Dropped Herkovic in the first round, I believe. Troubled him multiple times. You know what I mean? What's going on? Oh, Dub, salute to you, my friend. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, it's very important for Joyce to get the win, but not just the win, the knockout as well. And I apologize for the lag. If you can still hear me, I'm sorry about that. I can see it's a bit frozen. But we also got Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. I wanted to touch base on that as well. Excuse me. There's a lot of rumors of Crawford and Spence being announced at that date as well. So a lot of great rumors, I know that's all that it is, but it's still a positive sign for boxing. But Davis versus Garcia, a lot of people have been asking me, hey, what do you think of that fight? I think it's a great fight. I think it's a fight that we need for the fans. You know, the excitement, the hype. You know, both of them are, you know, great. They can sell a fight good. You know what I mean? They both got a big fan base, and it's one of those fights. It's like a eliminator. You know, the winner challenges the best. You know, they've been challenging these other guys. Now it's time to see who steps up to the plate against the top opposition. You know, against the Haneys, against the Stevensons. You know, who just finished looking great in his last performance. You know, Tank Davis versus Garcia, 2 weeks away. You know, what a great fight that's gonna be. You know, what a great fight that's gonna be. You know, I mean, I think that Davis, you know, is special. You know, he's really special. He's one of those fighters that, you know, you question yourself, how does he do things sometimes, you know? You know what I mean? Sometimes you question, how did he do that? You know, how did he get that guy on the back foot? How did he cut off the ring? How did he get him on the ropes? You know, understand he's the smaller heavyweight. Oh, sorry, lightweight, my apologies. I'm all about these heavyweights. Davis should win, but I'll go for Garcia. Davis should win. You know, Davis will definitely be the favourite, I'll put it to you that way. Okay, he'll definitely be the favourite in this fight. I think that Garcia's also got some special things in him, but not as good as Davis. You know, Garcia's got a great left hook, I'll tell you that. Okay, he's got a great left hook. But the problem with Garcia is that I just don't think that he has, you know, he's not an all-rounded great fighter like Davis is. I think that Davis is an all-rounder great fighter. You know, all-rounder great fighter. But I mean, in that fight you can expect a knockout. In the Zhang versus Joyce fight you can expect a knockout. You know, and sometimes that's what the fans want to see. You know, and for the lightweight, I mean, we also got, you know, Haney versus Loma around the corner. So I mean, what's going on, Captain and the squad? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it, man. So, smash the thumbs up on the way in. Just got into the Tank versus Garcia breakdown. Tar Rob saying that you know, he's not well rounded. I agree. He's saying that, you know, Garcia's gonna win. I mean, sorry, he wants Garcia to win. I say that. Garcia definitely has a great left hook, you know, so there's no doubt about it. But the problem is, does he have anything else? You know, I mean, I know he's got speed. I know that he's got quickness, agility. You know, with his punches, you know, he's got good power, like I say, with the left hook. But he's challenging Tank Davis, a guy that's really going to test them if he can't land anything but the left hook, okay? If he can't use the right hand effectively, I should say, he's not going to beat Davis. How good is Garcia's right hand? That's the question. That's the main question for everyone to answer. You know, can Garcia hurt Davis with the right hand? Because Davis, his footwork is great. Okay, he can easily fight low, which is going to make it hard. It's going to make it hard for Garcia, landed with power. If Davis keeps low, okay, if Davis keeps low, it's going to be hard for Garcia to knock him out, because he's going to have to reach. He's going to have to reach more to knock him out, and the power's not going to be there. So I mean, if Davis can take the power away from Garcia, but you know, but staying low, which he's good at. You know, Garcia's going to have to overreach for him. He's going to have to overextend the left hook, which is going to take the power away. And not only that, it's going to open up Davis for a good straight left hook, a left hand lead, I should say, which he's really good at. You know, you got to understand that the straight punches is always going to beat the hook, okay? He's not going to be hooking with Garcia, I can tell you that. He never hook with the hooker. I think he's going to try to see how good the right hand is. If it's not good enough, then Garcia's really going to struggle to put him down. Because Davis is very good on his feet. He's very good at setting up traps, things like that. Look at the rolling knockout, he set him up, got him with the straight left hand, okay, which quite arguably is the best, one of the best left hand straights in boxing, which Davis has. I'd have to say that Garcia does have a better left hook than most. He's got a fast right hand, but Davis can handle it. Yeah, I mean, even if it's a fast right hand, it's got to have power. It's got to, how hard, that's what I'll say, how hard can he hit with the right hand? That's the question. Because if he can't hurt Davis with the right hand, Davis can easily set him up and knock him out. It's going to be a made fight for him. What's going on, Bailey? What's going on, man? I appreciate you stopping in, my friend. We got Tank Davis versus Garcia. We're talking about that right now, man. I got a coffee on me. I apologize for the lag. We got, Tar Rob saying that, for sure, I'm excited as ever. We got 2 weeks away. And you know what else is exciting, man, is there's a lot of speculation of Crawford versus Spence announcing their fight. When that fight gets made, you know what I mean. So that's even more exciting. But we'll get back to the Davis. We'll get back to the Davis versus Garcia breakdown. So we're going. So Rob is saying that he's got a fast right hand. He punches downwards, Rob. With that right hand against the shorter fighter. It seems like he overthrows that right hand. But if you're overthrowing, I know it's fast. I know that he's a fast puncher. And you got to understand, we got Davis against Garcia. It's not like it's Frazier versus Ali. It's not like Garcia's Ali and he's going to run away, throw a jab. It's not going to be like that. Garcia is going to be coming forward. He's going to be trying to come for the knockout. He doesn't have that ability to move around like that, as a taller guy. Which is a big problem, because Tank Davis is good on his feet. He's a shorter guy. And he's not a Frazier, he's not thinking, I'm going to come forward regardless. I don't care if you're George Foreman, I'm going to keep coming forward. He's not that sort of dude. He's the sort of dude that he tries to figure you out. He can box in the front and the back foot. So it's not a fact of Garcia running away with the jab. That's not good. It's not going to be like that. These guys are going in there to knock each other out. And the problem with Garcia is that when he does come forward with the left hook, he tends to overthrow it. Like in the sense of, he's very front foot heavy. He's very front foot heavy. And that may be a problem for him. If he's overthrowing these shots, Davis could catch him. Understand that. I believe Davis will be front foot forward as well in this fight. He had a tune-up against Hector Garcia. He had the tune-up, and he was on the front foot in that fight. You know what I mean? So I think that he's preparing himself for this fight. And when Tank Davis comes forward, it's a dangerous fight for anybody. You know what I mean? It's a dangerous fight for anybody. Tank knows it too. He was saying, in the fight, he was saying in the conference, all you have is a left hook. That's all you've got. You know what I mean? He made that pretty clear. He said that's all you've got. You've got no foot movement. You've got none of that. He knows that. So if Tank can take Garcia's right hand, Tank's gonna win the fight. Understand that Tank Davis, he can cut off the ring easily as well. He knows how to do that. So if he cuts him off, gets him in the corner and he's front-footed, coming forward, he's able to take Garcia's right hand. That's going to cause Garcia, to try to get out of the danger zone, which he's not really good at. He's not really a defensive fighter, Garcia. But I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. Can Garcia hurt Tank with the right hand? Because if he can't, it's going to be a big problem for him. Tank Davis will possibly set him up, and do what he done against Foley. If Garcia's coming forward, he's going to set up that straight left hand. If Garcia's going back, he's going to be circling to Garcia's left side, okay, with the right hand. And he's going to catch him eventually if Garcia can't hurt him. I believe it's going to be a late knockout for Garcia to win. I think Garcia needs to knock him out early. And most importantly, he needs to hurt him with the right hand. But by far, this fight is not going the distance. This fight definitely isn't going the distance for sure. I don't see it happening. Just like the Zhang versus Joyce. And that's why the fans are happy for it. That's why the fans are excited for this fight, because they know that both of these fights, styles makes fights. And both of these fights is going to be a KO, guaranteed. Guaranteed. I mean, both guys are going for the knockout. Like I said, Garcia's not the sort of dude that's going to just stick and move. He's going to try to come forward. Tank's going to try to come forward. I'm expecting a great fight. And hopefully the Crawford fight happens, Crawford Spence. Hopefully that fight gets announced. That'll be epic. I really look forward to that. That's the biggest fight in boxing today. We also got, Haney versus Loma. A lot of people are on the fence on that fight. A lot of people are on the fence. 50-50 split. Regardless of Loma, being the older fighter, I can say, from what I've seen, a lot of people are favouring Loma to win that fight against Haney. So, I mean, the lightweight division is looking great. Shakur Stevenson's looking great. He's got his winner under, 135. He won convincingly. Made a statement. So yeah, boxing's looking, it's looking really good at the moment. I just hope that these heavyweights fight each other. What's going on with Andy Ruiz? Is he gonna fight? Is he gonna fight Fury next, so that they can get him out of that contention of getting the title? Get him out of the way, so that the Wilder versus Ruiz fight doesn't happen. It seems like it's really controlled. The WBC is really stalling these big fights. I mean, Wilder versus Ruiz was meant to happen in November. It's meant to be negotiated. It's meant to happen, within a window. That window's gone. So I mean, the heavyweight division's up and down. The lightweight division's looking great. It looks like they really are going to fight each other, these fighters, at lightweight. Like I say, Loma versus Haney's a great fight. Hopefully these heavyweights step up, but the Zhang versus Joyce fight tomorrow, I did see the weigh-in. I did think that Joyce was in phenomenal shape. probably the best that he's ever been in. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to that fight. But yeah, I mean, what's your guys' take on it? Who do you see winning that fight? Who do you see winning the Tank Garcia? Who do you see winning Joyce versus Zhang? Drop a comment on that. You know, just keep this stream going. I still got a coffee in my hand. I do apologize for the lag. We got 7 people in the house saying on my screen. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys stopping in. But yeah, what's your guys' take on it? You know, who do you see winning those fights? I've got to say, you know, the fact that in 2 weeks away, we could see Crawford Spence, you know, that's exciting on its own. Yes, sir. No doubt. No doubt. I do apologise for the lag. You know, I do apologise for that. Loma's getting old for sure. You know, he's getting old. I mean, he's getting old, but he's a very skillful fighter. You know, he's very skillful. And we got Teo that left. You know, he went to 140. And Loma lost to Teo, which was basically Loma's turnaround. You know, that's when people started thinking this guy's getting old. But I mean, he gave Lopez, you know, that first half of the fight. You know, he basically done not enough, and you can't afford to do that against Haney. You know, you can't afford to do that against Haney. You got to understand, you know, the older the fighter gets, the legs goes first. So Haney's definitely the younger, you know, the younger guy. I wouldn't say stronger, because, you know, Haney, we haven't seen Haney knock out much people. So I mean, we know that Haney's not really a knockout artist. But I mean, you know, in terms of but yeah, I mean, Anthony Joshua, you know, he's announced that he's only coming back in December. I've got to start driving, man. Stay up, bonjour, later chat. I appreciate it, Rob. Appreciate you stopping in. I do appreciate your time, everyone else's. But I mean, yeah, man, I mean, boxing's looking great. Hopefully Joyce gets the KO, makes a statement, and Tank versus Garcia, you know, quick breakdown. You know, drop your take in the comments on that fight. And yeah, man, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you guys' time. I'm going to close it off. Just a short live stream today. But yeah, boxing's looking lit. I appreciate everyone that stopped in. And we'll see what happens in this Joyce versus Zhang.